We've sent rovers millions of miles to map the craters of Mars, yet the bottom of our own ocean remains almost entirely a mystery. We actually have a better map of the Martian surface than we do of our own seafloor. Down there, sunlight simply doesn't exist. It is a world of absolute freezing darkness, where the crushing water pressure would implode a standard research submarine in milliseconds. Since scientists cannot rely on cameras to see through the pitch black, they are forced to navigate the abyss differently. To map the dark, they use audio. They listen. Because we can't see what's lurking in that massive, unlit void, the deep sea serves as the ultimate blank canvas. It is the perfect breeding ground for our wildest imaginations and our deepest fears. In the summer of 1997, researchers were monitoring a highly sensitive network of underwater microphones. These hydrophones were originally built during the Cold War to track Soviet submarines slipping through the Pacific. But instead of mechanical engines, they picked up an anomaly. Listen to this recording. It's a distinct, low-frequency rumble that rapidly rises in pitch, sounding almost like a giant guttural bubble popping. Whatever made that noise was loud. So loud, in fact, that it was recorded simultaneously by multiple acoustic sensors spread more than 3,000 miles apart. The most alarming data point wasn't the sheer volume, it was the shape of the sound. The acoustic frequency profile matched the distinct, undulating vocalization patterns of a living marine animal. Here is the problem. For a biological creature to generate a sound wave that travels 3,000 miles, it would have to be unfathomably massive. We are talking about an animal significantly larger than a blue whale, which is the largest creature known to exist on Earth. The combination of classified military tech and an impossible biological signature transformed a single acoustic data point into a massive, global scientific mystery. The theories poured in immediately. Was there an overgrown giant squid roaming the South Pacific? Or perhaps a prehistoric megalodon that somehow survived extinction, hiding in the deepest trenches? The location of the sound only added to the mythology. The coordinates originated incredibly close to Point Nemo, the most remote spot in the ocean. Eerily, this is exactly where author H.P. Lovecraft placed his fictional sunken city of R'lyeh, sparking rumors that the mythical god Cthulhu was waking up. Others pointed to geopolitics. They argued that a sound that powerful had to be the result of a top-secret naval weapons test, or perhaps an experimental deep-sea submarine that governments were trying to hide. The mystery hinged on a specific technical detail. The famous, bubbly audio clip that circulated on the internet was artificially manipulated, sped up 16 times just so human ears could register the frequency. When you play the original recording back in real time, it loses the animalistic chirp. The audio stretches out into a deep, earth-shattering rumble. The sea monster was a product of human audio manipulation. We discovered how easily our desire for fantasy can color our interpretation of the data. The mystery persisted until researchers returned with more precise equipment. Between 2005 and 2010, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration deployed new hydrophones much closer to Antarctica to isolate the source. This new acoustic survey provided a definitive, non-biological verdict. The sound was a cryoseism, a geological event known as an icequake. An icequake occurs when extreme stress builds up within a glacier. The structural integrity fails, causing massive chunks of ice to violently crack and shift and break entirely away. The bloop was the thunderous sound of millions of tons of ice tearing apart and plunging into the sea. The recording captured the massive, violent physical power of Earth's geology in motion. Consider the immense amount of kinetic energy required to crack ice so violently that the resulting sound wave travels halfway across the globe. Even without a monster, the scale of the event is staggering. The bloop is just one part of a larger acoustic environment. The deep ocean is constantly filled with strange echoes traveling through the dark. Over the years, scientists have recorded an entire catalog of eerie oceanic sounds. They give them descriptive names like Julia, Upsweep, and Train. These ongoing audio events prove that the Earth's crust, its underwater volcanoes, and its vast ice shelves are constantly in motion. The planet is actively speaking to us through the water. Our planet is a dynamic, roaring entity, and we are only just beginning to decode its language. Those fracturing, groaning glaciers carry a modern weight. As global temperatures rise, these massive ice quakes are occurring with increasing frequency. Even with the Bloop explained, roughly 80% of the deep sea remains entirely unexplored. We have barely scratched the surface of the abyss. The raw, physical forces of nature make the ocean fascinating on their own. We don't need to invent mythical beasts to find the deep sea compelling. Though keeping a healthy respect for the dark and maybe listening for anything we haven't cataloged yet certainly doesn't hurt. The ocean continues to surprise us, proving that the most profound scientific discoveries are often found in the mysteries we have yet to solve.